Bosh, big Wednesday double session. Pool day boxed off already. Started the day strong. Grabbed a little flat white just after the pool day now. Didn't get any clips on the session, not gonna lie. But yeah, pool day done, and we've got a long run later, which is gonna be tough. Heels are getting better, but obviously the more I do on them, what was that? I can't even speak. The more I do on them, they're not going to recover, basically. But we've got eight and a half weeks to the marathon, so we've just got to get the long runs in. So today, pool day done, got the long run later on, got a group call later on, so it's going to be a hectic day. But don't you worry, everything will be boxed off, and we'll have plenty of meals, plenty of nutrition tips, and a long old run later on. Look at the absolute state of this breakfast this morning, and some black coffee there. Now, like I've said to you many times before, I don't actually normally have carbs in the morning. Reason being, I just feel a lot clearer and have stable energy throughout the day when I have protein, healthy fats and fibre in the morning. So, you know, normally you'll see kefir, Greek yogurt, blueberries, or eggs, avocado, something like that. But today, with a long run, this is where nutrient and your food and nutrition changes. Because if you're an athlete and you're fueling, or if you're just someone doing your long run, you're preparing for a half marathon, a marathon, a 10k race, whatever it is, and you're going for a long run today, and you're fueling with just pure protein and fats and fibre, one, your digestion, you know, when you have eggs, you feel full. Do you want to be full when you're running? No. You want to feel light, you want to feel energized. So that's why we're having a breakfast like this, overnight oats, some watermelon for the electrolytes, and a banana, again, for more energy. So the way that you fuel depends on the individual. And this is why it's so key. Because I'm not going to be sitting here and having 10 eggs, like sometimes, well, I don't have 10 eggs, but a lot of eggs and a lot of fats, because it's not going to help fuel my run later. It's just going to make me feel lethargic, heavy, and I'm not going to be able to perform as well. So this is where nutrition is so key. But anyway, let's give a little taster. Beautiful. And the reason I don't have carbs, like I say, I get more cravings as well after eating carb heavy meals. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But breakfast to fuel up the run later, bosh. Again, this is a prime example of nutrition being dependent on your goals. That is literally 2 slices of sourdough with some honey. And listen, if you're trying to lose fat and you're eating that, then it's going to be carnage, because that is just going to make you hungry. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to fill you up. But this is literally going to be my pre-run meal sort of thing, just to get some good carbs in. That's going to fuel my run. Now, that meal right there is not filling at all. And that's why you have it before a run, because you want to be light, right? So if you're literally eating something like that and thinking that's within my calorie deficit, blah, 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 how are you going to stay full if you're eating that? That's all I'm saying. Another tip, if you are getting honey, try not to, if you can, try not to just get the squeezy honeys from, you know, like supermarkets that are, you know, quite cheap, because there's a reason that they're cheap. Listen, if you can't get like something like this, like I bought this Dutchy organic thingy. It's literally, what I've realised recently with honey is on the back, if this is produce of Romania. If it's like a blend of something or other, it's just basically sugar. So if you can, try and get one that is from one country, and you will be better off, essentially. But yeah, that's again the difference between nutrition for performance and nutrition for fat loss or muscle building goals, for example, because there is absolutely zero protein in there. Well, there's like 5 to 10 G, but you get what I mean. Yes, what's going on? The long run, I'm absolutely flying, to be honest. And you know why? Because my nutrition today was on point for a long run. Now, what do I mean by that? So I want to touch on this because I was speaking to Dills yesterday. He went on his long run. He's a nutter, by the way. 25k, even though he's done 15k, then went for a half marathon, and then went for 25k. He didn't build up slow enough, so that was silly, but I told him that. Remember, when you're training for a marathon, half marathon, don't be doing big jumps, otherwise you're just going to get runner's knee if you get too far ahead of yourself. But back to the nutrition. He said, mate, I was knackered at about 15, 20k. I had to stop and get a Lucozade or something. And I said, of course, when you're running long distances, you can't just run on fumes. You've got to fuel yourself. That's why people have energy gels. That's why they have oranges, bananas, electrolytes, all that good stuff. Because when you're running, football, whatever, you need to fuel your body, because all your energy is going. You're sweating. You're running about for minutes, hours on end. So you need to replenish those stores. And that's why nutrient timing and fueling yourself is completely different on a fat loss, muscle building, bulking, whatever journey, compared to athletic sports journeys. And people don't know the difference. So if you don't, and you want to get a faster time and all that, then that's where you need to either research it or get someone to help you, because it's so key. And that's why marathon runners get insane times, because they have proper nutrition. They fuel up midway through. They fuel up every 30-40 minutes. So if you're training for something like a marathon, a half marathon, a high rocks even, you know, make sure your nutrition throughout the day is good, as well as during the actual event or run. So yeah, how did I fuel up today? You might be asking after that long run. Well, we had overnight oats in the morning with some yogurt, blueberries, banana, watermelon, electrolytes, banana, oats, obviously carbs, and a little bit of protein as well. Didn't have many healthy fats today, and not too much fibre, because that slows digestion. That's why it's good for a fat loss journey, but not the best for sports performance. So that to start with. And then we had, what did we have? Sorry, my bad. 2 slices of sourdough with literally just honey, about 2 hours before the run. And then we had a tablespoon of honey with some pink Himalayan salt, carbs, electrolytes, and then a couple of rice cakes about 30 minutes before we left, which could have been a banana as well. But that is pre-run fuel. It's the right macros that you need to run long distances to fuel your body. We're not looking, you know, for too much protein, too much fibre, too much healthy fats when you're doing a long run, because it's going to make you feel heavy and you're not going to have as much energy as a result. Take that on board, use that for your next run, your next event, or your next game. Lovely jubbly. For any of you rugby fans watching, Saracens for you, best team in London. No, I'm just joking, I don't really know about rugby. But yeah, just a little run by Saracen Stadium for you. My go-to on a long run, coconut water, replenish those electrolytes, keeps me going, and I got a little fruit bar, one of them nakeds. Lovely stuff. We are 10k in, let's have it. Post-run, you know how we do. Homemade chocolate milk, that super nitro milk and cacao powder. Literally, that is all it is. 35 grams of protein right there.
Everything, man.
Good man, good man. Now this is like I said, it's just very, very important.
Post-group call, and we are finishing the day strong after a long run, after a group call with some homemade lasagna. Got aubergine, mince, 1 pasta sheet, all sorts in there. Chicken, sweet potato, sun-dried tomatoes. Proper Mediterranean. And that's another day done. Boshed off, long run, pool day done. Good food all day. Feeling good. Feeling knackered. Gonna need some rest for tomorrow because we've got paddle and football training. Love to see it. That is day 17. Bush!